So Lucas Big Daddy Browne knocks out Eric Bahoeli. I think that's how you pronounce the name. I'm not sure. I can't remember how the commentators were saying it, but he knocks out Eric Bahoeli in the 5th round. Pretty entertaining heavyweight fight. Lucas Browne was cut, I believe it was in the 3rd round, from a headbutt. He dropped Bahoeli a bunch of times. I think it was 3 or 4 times he dropped him. But Bahoeli showed decent ability in there. He was moving around and doing his thing, and he was outworking Lucas Browne in a lot of the rounds. Browne was just looking for his opportunity to land one big shot. And then the headbutt came in the 3rd round, and Lucas Browne suffered a terrible cut on his eyelid. And a lot of fights would have been stopped with the severity of that cut. A lot of fights would have been stopped. But it was clear that Lucas Browne was being given an opportunity that most fighters don't get. And it's a good thing he was, because he went on to win the fight by stopping his opponent. He obviously had the punching power. He was stalking Bahoeli or Bahoeli or where, however the hell you pronounce his name. He was stalking him and looking for his opportunities. And he was picking his opportunities quite well. He was taking his chances quite well. Even though he wasn't really throwing any punches, many punches, he made the punches that he did throw count. And he was able to drop his opponent several times. He turned the heat up after the cut, especially, I think it was the 4th round. I think he really turned the heat up because the doctors kept on having a look at the cut, and it was getting to the point where he probably knew that they were going to stop the fight if he didn't get the guy out of there quickly. So he just went hell for leather, and he managed to drop the guy right after the doctor checked his cut. And he went on to stop the guy in the 5th round. Entertaining performance by Lucas Browne. He had to take a few good shots in this fight. Bahoeli is decent sized heavyweight, and he caught Lucas Browne with some good shots there. Browne seemed to take the shots pretty well. Lucas Browne as well, one thing I have to say is he came in to this fight very heavy. I haven't seen him look this out of shape before, and I don't know why that is. There's no advantage. He's already a big guy anyways, like 6'4", extremely heavily set. There's no advantage to carrying an extra 20 or 25 pounds of body fat, because that's what it was. It was noticeable that he was carrying a hell of a lot more body fat on him in this fight than he was in his fight against Richard Towers. A hell of a lot more body fat. I can't understand why, because he obviously wanted to become the first Australian Commonwealth heavyweight champion for over 100 years. So I don't know why he would come in so heavy, seemingly overweight for a fight like that. I don't know. But anyway, he was pretty slow in the ring, slow on his feet, slow with his hands, pretty one-dimensional. But as I say, he made his punches count. Once he started going in with the right hand, he's very heavy-handed, Lucas Browne. That's one thing I will say. The guy is very, very heavy-handed. You don't want to get clipped by this guy. You're just looking at the size of Lucas Browne. The way he shapes up to throw the right hand, you don't want to be in the way when he lets that right hand go, because he's got some serious weight behind that shot. We'll see where he goes from here. He's obviously got the Commonwealth title now. I know he's not happy with his promotional situation. He's signed to Ricky Hatton's promotional company. He's not happy with that, and he's looking for, when that contract runs out, I guess, to find a new promotional outfit to work with. So we'll see where that goes. But he's been linked to fights with a lot of the guys on the UK domestic scene, people like Tyson Fury, Derek Chisora, etc., etc. It'll be interesting if he can get in the mix with those guys. He's even apparently been linked to a fight with Deontay Wilder, so his name is up there. And this win over Bahoeli for the it was some kind of intercontinental belt, as well as the Commonwealth heavyweight title. This will boost him up in the WBC rankings, I believe, to somewhere in the top 10. I think 4 or 5 or something like that in the WBC. So we might see him in there with some bigger names now. Just off the top of my head, I could think of a few guys this guy could fight that would, improve his standing in the rankings even more, not just in the WBC. He could take a fight against Odilon Solis. It's a risky fight, but he could take that. If he manages to win that fight, that would definitely help his standing. Amir Mansour, he's got to look at the kind of guys that are just slightly below the top tier, because I can't see a top tier guy fighting him at the moment unless they really have to. So he needs to try and maybe fight some of the opponents who have lost recently, who were top 10 guys, like Orlene Solis, like Amir Mansour, those kind of guys. If he can get a win over one of those guys and look spectacular doing it, and look better than, say, a Tony Thompson and beating Orlene Solis, or look better than Steve Cunningham and beating Amir Mansour, that's going to bolster his rankings and his public profile and all that kind of stuff. You could even see him fight Alex Leopai. They're both Australian, and I personally believe, you know, Lucas Browne would have done better against Vladimir Klitschko than Alex Leopai did. I'm not saying he would beat Klitschko, but I think he'd do a lot better. He's a lot bigger than Leopai. He's 6'4". Leopai is only 6 feet tall. So, you know, have an Australian clash with Leopai, and if he can knock Leopai out easily and impressively, then again, that would bolster his profile worldwide, because Leopai is just coming off a high profile loss. So yeah, we'll see where Lucas Browne goes from here. Drop your comments below. Let me know how you felt about the fight. If you saw it, I thought it was pretty entertaining. So yeah, let me know how you feel. This is Hatman, I'm out.